welcome to Deeply Disturbing Things, where you get deeply disturbed at any point. You may never know when it is. And we are three anxious counselors who like to talk about those deeply disturbing things.
And this is the podcast.
And I'm Macy.
And I'm Naomi.
I'm Sarah.
And this is Volcom. He's here for the ride. If you are a Patreon, you get to see this chaos in action.
Yes.
If you don't,
just imagine it in your head.
Just imagine
We'll just become one.
If you become a Goldtreon Patreon, you may get the smell of vision.
What's a Goldtreon?
Part.
Is that a real thing?
No. Are you making up shit?
She's making stuff up.
Okay.
We believe you.
Well, until I was like, you can smell it.
Yeah. Smell-o-vision.
Smell-o-vision does not exist yet, in case
you're curious. It's coming.
I still want my hoverboard, by the way.
Oh my gosh. What do you got for us, Macy?
Stuff. Stuff and stuff. So I feel weird actually not having to hold him. It's great. I was like, gosh, it's been a while since we've talked like serial killer-y things. It's been a while, right? Mm-hmm. And then I didn't. Well, I went down a rabbit hole of this, but not directly like about a specific person. What I wanted to talk about is what we've talked about kind of on the side of all of our podcasts around serial killers is people's fascination with serial killers.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Because that's fascinating to me. By the way, I think I broke
the fascination is fascinating.
It won't go flat anymore because I've thrown it on the ground many times.
What, your phone?
Yeah, see those little cracks.
Oh.
I know. Okay. All right. So I sat and looked up a bunch of articles. It was really interesting how like widespread that topic was for
about why we have a fascination.
Yeah, because of course it's known with documentary series and Netflix, and so there's that counter side of why are people so interested in it, and lots of opinions that some of them are just make me go like I don't get it, well, and not I don't know, maybe like trying too hard kind of explanations, and then some that are like not hard enough. So we're looking for that
in the middle.
Yeah. What is that? The what's that bear child story? I don't know. The
Goldilocks place.
Oh, right. Just right.
Yeah, trying to find just right place. Understanding I'm biased and this is my just right place. So.
Well, I'm looking forward to hearing a reason that resonates with me.
Right. And this will cover
my Goldilocks place.
This will talk about kind of a lot of them, but so
as soon as he starts getting calm, you're like
so what kind of started stemming this type of conversation was around the Dahmer series on Netflix.
I never saw that.
I never saw it either.
No,
that one freaks me out. So
the one with Peter Evans.
He's a good actor in it.
No, I have a big crush on him, but I didn't watch that for some reason.
So why not? Do you have a reason why you didn't?
No,
I felt like it was going to be real dark, and that.
I mean,
I remember the family there was some backlash, and I think that I was thinking about that,
about how it was not even how necessarily
like exploiting, and so I think I was like kind of thinking about that, and then forgot about it and watched something else.
Right. So fascination with serial killers is really nothing new. They have made headlines more frequently though now than maybe in the past. It does. You do want to rock him.
He's eating your hair.
He loves blankets. That's how he knows what sleepy time is. Okay.
Rocking is okay.
I treat him like
a baby fix.
Like, no, he is like a baby.
Wanna, like, rock him.
Do you have something to put in his mouth?
What do you mean?
Like a chew toy? Something you don't carry that would get gnaw marks on?
Gnaw marks?
Yeah.
Like
about.
Are you talking about my therapy toys?
Yeah. Yep. I'm thinking.
But looking at my therapy toys.
How about just this jacket?
No, that's actually quite.
Oh, sorry.
Good jacket.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay.
No. Okay, it's fine.
But I know I don't want to like
cause bad habits.
Yeah, enable him to chew on people's hands.
He's very
because it's cute now.
I know,
but it might not be when they say
it's even less cute now than it was a week ago.
Yeah,
because he's now
it's gonna get heavier. It's gonna be hurting more and more.
So did I not show you the poke hole? Like just a direct saber into my hand.
Wow.
Gee.
Yeah. Okay. So also things like American Horror Story.
It looks like the stigmata.
Stigmata. It's interesting. My sister came to visit and she had one exactly similar on her hand. She saw it and I was explaining it and she goes, wait. and she will slowly hold it over it. And it was this weird moment because they're both kind of have like a
Dual
blood
stigmata.
blister.
Like connected.
Yeah, hers was completely unrelated, but yeah.
Have you guys talked about stigmata before?
No.
It's a good topic.
That's
Good
it.
topic. So American Horror Story would be on that flip side of the more sensationalized fake, but I'm not assuming actually that it is fake. But American Horror Story ish type stuff that people enjoy watching. Did you watch American Horror Story?
Some of them are good and some of them are like so bad I feel they're unwatchable.
It was, I think, the Lady Gaga one. Like once I got to there, I feel
I
like
couldn't watch
I
that.
haven't seen it.
I started it and then
it just was like
Couldn't.
so outlandish, and I couldn't catch the plot well.
well sometimes they over like there's too much going on. Like, do we need paranormal and aliens and
That's when I get
murder?
Or
Yeah,
different
in the
episodes.
same episode. Like it gets a
Right.
bit much.
I need the buy-in point. Like don't it's just like
Did
counseling,
this just
right?
happen right now?
Yes. I told you.
You might need a new one of these now.
I didn't hand it to
I
you.
really liked the freak show one.
I like that one too. That was good. There were some really good ones.
But it was simple. There wasn't like too
Right.
much going on.
It's like a counseling session. You can't go into that counseling session with that person and just assume the rapport is there because you've been meeting with it. Like every time you have to have that little bit of that, those few minutes of like checking in, like before you like. I can't just be tossed into that chaos and be expected to want to stay.
I like the haunted house one too.
That's good. Again, everything up to that one. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't think I've watched after the Lady Gaga.
I mean, and maybe there's some great ones. I have no idea.
Well, we may never know.
I may never.
And I'm okay with that.
Me too. And so that Jeffrey Dahmer story called Monster was the title. It had made a lot of public discourse, whether it was healthy or like not for people to watch it, because there was people were talking about putting him on a pedestal. Even though there's like the gruesome side of it, there was still this like just because there's a focus on him.
It is glamorizing it in a way.
Right. So there's a certain separation that occurs when we continue to tell their stories. So it transformed them into like a fictional supervillain in our minds, like the Green Goblin or whatever. Like,
oh my gosh.
Puppy is crying.
I know.
It's so cute.
Is he crying or is he
Yeah, he's crying.
Why?
He's whining.
It's like a little puppy baby.
He probably wants my lap, but I'm fine. So they kind of end up taking this fictional place in our mind where it's like they're that good and evil. So our brain likes to categorize them. Then okay, now you got that evil person. It's easy to forget though. The victims, which we talk about. And I want to say easy to forget in the sense that when you hyper focus on the gruesome stuff.
I don't know the names of any of Dahmer's victims.
Correct. And yeah, there's a whole documentary series on it. You didn't watch it, but some people have, and you probably don't.
But I've read about him and watched other things on him before.
Right.
I just didn't watch this like kind of fictionalized version.
Yeah, right. And I know that I've read and learned about them too at some point for a topic, and my brain doesn't hold on to those names the same way. So
yeah, I think something we've tried to do on the podcast though is
we do that.
Say the victims' names and
I think that's really
put focus where it should be.
And I think that's really good. And it's a challenge for that to hold.
But then there's the whole other side. It's like, do the families, want you even talking about their relatives, You're
over there like you have an infant.
I love it.
Okay, good.
I love him.
I volunteered to dog sit first. You're second. Okay. Just saying.
Let me know if you want to hold him.
So the victims are real people, many of whom have living relatives who are forced to relive and watch these things as they come up on shows.
Yeah.
So what is our reasoning? Because just as people, if you were the sister of a victim of a serial killer and that serial killer got a Netflix series, I don't think out of respect for you that I would watch it because I would care. Like if you were like, that bothers me, I think I wouldn't watch it out of respect if you asked me that. I'm kind of assuming the same thing for you. But because we have the distance from people, we'll watch it. And why then, like, psychologically are we so willing to do that, even though we know as people it probably wouldn't be something we would do.
It's not impacting us personally.
Right. It's selfish.
So there's that detachment, there's that separation.
So one of the first things that the first categories that kind of came up was risk avoidance. So if you've ever had that feeling of being like really, really scared, it's typically something you avoid doing. However, we often try to find fear for the fun of it. So I'm thinking like roller coasters,
Like
theme
adrenaline,
parks,
right?
adrenaline
Hate that
junkies.
stuff.
I love roller coasters.
I hate fake fun.
What about going to like a zoo and like, oh, I'm gonna see a lion really close? Like that's actually that's scary.
It doesn't
but, like,
scare me.
Don't talk to me like that. No,
I've
I
never
feel no
liked
bads.
fake fun.
No
Like
bads.
organized, commercialized
Fake.
fun.
Max, when we went to Universal Studios, he really wanted to go on the roller coaster, and I hadn't been on one in a long time. I really didn't want to, but I did it for him. And it was this really cool one where you like put music on. You get to like choose a track while you're going on it. So it's like blasting music, and it was so fun. And after that, I'm like, oh my gosh, I would have never tried this.
A lot of
if you
people
didn't-
love it.
And it was so fun.
I mean,
I won't do
amusement
the-
parks wouldn't be popular if
What are
people
they-
didn't like it.
The panic rooms or whatever, those like escape houses or whatever.
Oh, I just tried that escape room.
My sister did one. She got out barely.
Oh, but see,
Yeah, I have no interest.
I thought it was
I
gonna be
don't
like
like it.
claustrophobic, but it's not. It's more of like a brain, like you have to figure out clues and
I
stuff.
like real life risk.
I can't even dive into like I like Zelda as a game, but there are so many mind puzzle ones that I'll just get stuck and stop playing and won't touch it for 5 years. So I can't. I can't.
It's okay.
So okay.
she's right there. You'll see her and like
So we tend as people to run headfirst towards some of these things that ultimately starts leading to a fascination with violence because we are looking for that thrill. So people who jump out of airplanes, go to haunted houses, riding roller coasters. It's that like surge.
But some people have
Safe
that
surge.
need more than others, I think,
Yeah.
or that
Mhm.
part of their brain that's like seeking that.
Yeah, for sure.
So Colton Scrivener, a researcher. So I tried to lean into the science here because again, I was getting a lot of things. Oh gosh. And if he becomes unbearable, you can hand off.
No way.
You know what he loves
He's
the
mine
most
for right
is
now.
being forcefully held. He's only allowing this because you're new.
Oh.
He will tantrum like a 2-year-old and it's intense. Mhm.
Oh,
So
that's hilarious.
at this recreational fear lab in Denmark, I feel like he's stealing all my thunder right now.
No, you are thundering. You're thundering really hard. Oh my gosh, I'm videoing. Sorry, sir. Let me try that again. Okay.
Oh my god.
Don't tell me about it. I don't care. I don't care.
Happy, look
I
at
don't
me.
care. I don't care.
Is it that he's fighting sleep? I feel like
No.
he wants to play, but
No.
he's getting sleepy and
Are you
he's
sleepy?
or he wants you because he's like, I want mama.
Alright, smile.
I
Well,
want
we
mama.
took a very long nap today, together. He sleeps with his head on the pillow. Oh, that's adorable. That's super cute.
Thank you.
All right, back to you, Macy.
Right.
Why you're gonna bring a puppy and not expect the
It
puppy
wasn't for
to
you. It was because I couldn't
steal
leave
the
him alone.
thunder?
He's currently learned that he's bigger than the cat. So the cats learned for a period that they could smack him and he would avoid him.
I love
But
when
now-
cats smack dogs. It's so
But
funny.
now he knows that he's heavier. So he just charges and runs full speed at them, knocks them down, and then stands over them. So that's where
Little
we're at
bully.
right now. Yes.
He's actually a bowling ball.
He's like 2
You're
bowling
like a
balls.
kitty
I
bowling
would
ball.
use a 9-pound, maybe a 10-pound bowling ball. He's 18. All right, so there's a fear lab in Denmark. Let's just reset there. So they study morbid curiosities, and they found that it tends to center around 4 main experiences.
Yeah, I
Here, let me-
definitely will
before I
admit
dive
that I
into
have
this, here.
morbid curiosity.
Okay.
Let me see
You
if I
want
can
mama?
put him to sleep.
Okay.
I'm good at
Okay.
putting him. Oh, on the he's oddly shaped, so he will teeter and totter, and let's.
Oh, see, he needs his vest off. He needs to get
He doesn't
comfy.
need his best on. I'm just taking it off for my comfort level. Okay, now what you do?
Do you need to like swaddle, like wrap him as a burrito?
He likes a blanket over him. Hey, hey. All right. He wants to feel like part of things without being held, like restrained. He's like a toddler. Like I
Okay.
want freedom of choice, but closeness. And I'm gonna whine about it, but eventually I'll fall asleep. And then we do some psychology here.
Okay. Is it working?
It will. It will. Just wait. Once he gets tired, he'll make that noise with his mouth. That's how I learned it. He
Like
does
that?
it every time he gets tired.
The smacking.
Don't do it too much because it's strange. He's so sleepy. He's so sleepy.
That makes me sleepy when you do that.
No, I saw him training his brain.
I'm wide awake. It's not working on me.
Okay, so anyways, these 4 boxes. Just keep in mind that like there's probably no neatly ticked box, but they say that they do fall in these boxes, but whatever. They tie morbid. Okay, sorry. They tie these things into supernatural danger, body violations, violence, and then the minds of dangerous people. So when we were talking about the that show or whatever, and there's like too many boxes ticked, maybe that's like too many of these boxes at once for our minds to even like.
Oh, American Horror Story.
Right. So Scrivener ties morbid
This is really
curiosity
lovely.
grown on you.
Yeah.
Can I try somebody's? Does somebody mind if I try theirs?
You mean me?
Yeah, I'm not sick.
That's all you.
I'm the only one that has some stuff. You're gonna drink my drink and make that face?
I've been drinking it. I smelled it.
Yeah,
It's bad.
that's what I said.
But it's not good
Like I
either.
hate it,
But
but
I don't love it.
If that's a hand, I'm gonna freak
Yeah,
out.
this is like a little nail or something. We don't want to step on
Is it
that.
his toenail? Oh, an
Mhm.
actual nail. Ooh, that is a little nail. Odd.
I don't know what's happening in this room.
Why is there a little
I
very
don't
sharp?
know.
It just
Little
fell
nail.
out of like nowhere.
I don't know where
No,
that
I
came from.
heard it land.
Yeah.
You heard it land?
Yeah, we both did.
Yeah.
We both looked down and because we heard it.
You know that's a demon portal.
Look
just
at
like
that.
a closet.
Creak
You
at
little
that. It's
nails
an
are just
old.
flying.
I don't
there.
recognize this
Like,
really
what is that?
small, sharp.
If you're a patron, I
Nail.
know it's weird. It's not a
Like,
modern nail. It's not
there's-
a modern.
No piece of furniture that is like that was holding.
No, I
Together.
legitimately was sitting here with you,
Yeah.
and we both went. And you'll see it in the video if you're Patreon.
Well, we've done ghost testing and we have evidence that that closet
And-
is actually haunted.
And when I hold on
Really
to
is.
those water tester thingies, whatever those
They
ghost
went
things,
crazy.
they go crazy.
The dowsing rods?
Mhm.
Right.
Yes.
So you're on duty over there. If he goes potty, grab him.
I just want him to chew up my
He will. Oh, those are beautiful. Show those shoes.
Those are really nice.
My
Okay,
red
the
velvet
color on
pants.
here does not do that justice.
Sarah wins.
Full circle. All right. Okay, so backing up here. So blah 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 blah. Where were we? Okay, so avoiding predators is actually a necessary component of ensuring back in the day to survive when you were at your fire at night with your family and there's predators in the wild. So you were always being hunted in theory in your mind.
Mhm.
So there's a part of your mind that is always ready and waiting to become prey.
And that's why we have fear of the dark too. Because we're
Because you're just
supposed to
waiting.
like be like on guard
Mhm.
with at nighttime.
And when you can't see your predator, it causes fear.
Mhm.
So predators aren't always on the hunt though, and running is energetically expensive. So it makes sense for us and other animals to pay attention to predators in hopes of understanding what drives them. And right there, that I had not actually thought of that at all. Like it makes sense that we don't have the resources to just be on all the time waiting for it to happen. So if we understand them more, maybe we can turn off in those times when
But-
we don't need to worry.
Anxiety is being turned on all the time. That's why it's fucking exhausting.
Right,
Hmm.
but in theory, your mind it can't be on all the time.
I'm always waiting for that line to jump out.
Always
Okay.
something. Always fucking something.
Because there's always
So I always got my
something.
exit strategy.
Yeah.
So while we're no longer running from, lions, tigers, and bears, there are still predators. The largest threat to human lives these days, other than humans, The biggest threat to lives are other humans.
Every time I hear a noise, it's automatically an axe murderer trying to break into my house.
I mean, the axe thing makes sense for you. That's happened. It makes sense for us to treat dangerous people the same way we would treat any other predator. There's an evolutionary drive to view them from a safe distance, like headphones or TV screens or phone. From a certain point of view, Dahmer's an exercise in self-preservation. You're able to watch, learn, your brain's trying to learn and register what's safe, what's not safe. So here's where it could go wrong, right? When like the shows may not be portraying things accurately or maybe glamorizing things.
Well, a big part of my fascination
You want the blanket
with
back?
serial killers or actually any kind of horrific violent event is trying to understand what happened. Because in my mind, if I can understand it well enough, I can protect myself and my loved ones
Right.
from something bad happening to them.
Right. And that's
So
very-
I go too hard in it, and then I end up traumatizing myself.
and your children. No, that's and that's kind of the point, is it's all a self-protection thing. You might just call it that. Okay, so now let's go a little deeper, darker. Cultural fascination with serial killers. There might be something more at play here. I like this like back to view of us. So if it were purely about risk avoidance, we would spend far more time being fascinated about like shows about heart disease, right? Like things that are actually like a real risk.
Yeah, but if
Car
they maybe had
accidents.
better producers
Even
and made it more
car
exciting.
Well, I was just saying car accidents, but then like the movie Crash was pretty like that, a big car accident.
You don't have as much control over that. Whereas if there's like human error, you can kind of study their moves and then kind of figure out if you were in that.
I mean, I watched a
situation.
lot of plane crash shows.
You don't have to act
Why is
so
that
so
though?
upset. My goodness.
I don't know, because I'm fucked in the head. I have problems.
He has two
It's like
two
exposure.
dots on his eyes.
Maybe exposure therapy.
No, it traumatizes me.
It
It
makes you
doesn't
more
help.
scared?
Yeah.
He has two dots under the whites of his eyes, and I thought it made him look like from A Clockwork Orange. Like, but then my dad says his prison teardrops.
Oh yeah, like maybe at Aloka.
Yes. So
Cute.
okay.
You wanna hold
So
them for
Did
a
you do
moment?
time?
went crazy and bit my dad, and my dad's like, I get it. You killed 5 people in prison. So the statistical likelihood that any of us would ever be the victim of a serial killer is so low, it's almost to the point of like not being worth
Those
thinking
statistics
about.
mean nothing to me.
We know that. First of
Zero.
all, airplanes and all that.
Because if there is a chance of something happening, it's gonna happen to me in my mind.
You're
That's the
one.
whole fear of
Murphy's
flying.
Law.
You know, I wouldn't be scared of flying if I didn't
Murphy's
think,
Law is not
oh,
the
there's
same
a chance.
thing.
It's
That
not?
thinking Murphy's Law in that circumstance is the problem.
Oh,
If it can't happen, it will happen.
that's the problem. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay.
But it won't be
Oh,
ironic. This is not going to be an Alanis Morissette moment because
Isn't it ironic? No, you just have a knife and you needed a fork.
it won't be
I'm
ironic
sorry.
because if
I
you
know,
expect
this
it, it's not ironic.
Right.
Yes.
Spoons and all I need.
But it is a good song. Fork.
It's like meeting the man of your dreams and then meeting
No,
your
it's a
beautiful
knife.
wife.
Oh, it's
No,
a knife?
It's a knife.
it's a knife.
Oh.
I thought it was the needing of fork.
Yeah.
Well, it's because I said fork.
I thought it was a fork.
I put some false memory in your brain and like.
No, now now it's like the Mandela effect, and it was always fork, and now suddenly it's knife.
I just changed time.
You did. I'm
Kinda
always
ripple.
jumping over to a parallel timeline. Always.
Always. We're actually in one right now. The other us right now is pissed that I was late.
No, will you
And
remind
I
me
didn't have a
after
dog.
because I have a very important parallel timeline question to ask you.
You do a lot of pointing. It feels a little.
Because I'm very concerned about where I am in the universe.
I do
Right now.
Or which
Or with
universe.
my hands when I
Okay.
get like passionate about
Yes,
a topic.
I talk with my hands. I do.
So does my dad. That's how he got bit.
Sometimes I do an interpretive dance randomly.
It's very upsetting.
This orange mint is kicking in.
It's good. This stuff is only 5%. It's
I
not
mean,
even
See
strong.
what happens on the table.
No, my shoes are a pair.
You have to constantly move things. Okay,
Getting
so
sleepy.
globally, there's about 415,000 homicides a year. So now that I said that, you're like, I'm gonna be one of them.
Yeah, I'm 15,001.
It's worth noting that some places are riskier than others, but even taking that into account, the risk is really, really low considering statistically. Those nearly 500,000 homicide deaths from 2019 account for a little more than half of 1% of the population at the time. Half of 1%. Okay. All things being equal, there was a roughly 1 in 200 chance of an individual being the victim of a murder in 2019. And of course, serial killers is a small subset of murders. 1 in 200.
Yeah, I mean, you can rattle
I
off
mean-
stats all day long. I'm
Well-
still gonna think that sound in the night is an axe murderer.
Well, and I still don't want to like 1 in 200 just in like murders. I'm like, I don't like those odds either. I wanted to see a
Doesn't seem
comma.
great.
I want to see a comma in there somewhere.
You want to see some more Zeds?
Yeah, I would like 1,000.
Yeah.
Then two. Like
I run towards sounds in the night. I'll wake up and go running.
Wow,
Like,
Sarah.
make sure that serial killers are not killing my kids.
oh, that's the mama bear.
Yeah, like
Oh.
it happens like every time I've heard something. Like there was like a crash, the fan like fell down in Marcus's room, and I thought a serial killer was breaking in.
Oh yeah, if it sounded like it was coming from like a room, yeah, I would do the same
ran.
thing.
And my
These
husband's
sounds are always
sleeping.
like outside
just
of my
sleeping.
room.
Oh, yeah.
I think they're my neighbor. I think my neighbor's trying to freak me out.
They're out there like scratching on the
neighbor?
windows.
I
Like,
hear sounds sometimes. It sounds like they're chopping shit up in the yard also with an axe.
shady.
It's okay.
Like, what are you doing in the middle of the
She's a
night?
friend.
Burying bodies back
Oh,
there.
hey, wait, it's
Mhm.
happening. Wait.
It's happening.
wait for
It's
it.
happening. The peppers is falling
and like you
asleep.
can see like the nose is like the breathing is like changing.
Do you have to like get in those folds and clean them?
Yeah, but I have like little whiteys.
It's so hard being a puppy.
All right, sorry, I
Oh.
took pictures of you.
Oh my god, that sound, that puppy crying
Oh
sound.
my gosh, she's like getting gassy too.
Oh no, get ready. It's
Oh, it's a like
You're on the
fall
tail
asleep and fart
You're on the
kind
tail
of thing.
end. Oh, I fed him.
Why does that
He
link though?
might need to go
Television.
potty, so you can
Oh, you
always
think
take
that's
him
why
out.
he's getting like kind of upset? I gotta poop.
Oh no.
I gotta poop.
Hey,
Does he need to poop?
Oh my gosh.
yeah, no, he has some weight behind that.
He just
skull.
slammed my head against the wall.
Wait
So-
till he's 80 pounds.
You want me to
Okay.
take him out to go potty?
Sure.
Yeah,
Great.
he's getting kind of stinky.
Yeah, no, that's usually
Woo!
he ate before he came. So here, let's put this bad boy back on.
Hopefully it's the dog, Sarah.
Yeah. All right.
Guys, nummy.
Woo! Oh, it just hit me. That's an eye waterer.
Woo-wee.
Okay, so the legs go through these little
Yeah.
holes. All right.
Okay.
Thanks for bearing with us, folks. Please, this is, we don't have commercials. We have
This is
dark
live
spot,
action.
dog fart prevention programs that are happening live to you, brought to you by
Can we just like plug his butthole up?
not,
Thank
he'll
you.
explode out his mouth, I'm sure. Okay.
They should put like little pleasant smelling suppositories up there. So then when he does fart, it
It's
comes
not-
out and
it's
smells
not-
like roses.
As long as he stays. Okay.
Why has nobody invented that?
They're called butt plugs and they're probably flavored. I don't know.
Oh, what I know about blood plugs is totally different than
I don't know
you're
anything about
talking
butt
about.
plugs. I was just making up a thing that went with your theme.
well, I don't think it does.
But could it?
No,
No. All right.
you should Google that later.
Could it be like a? I won't. Could it be like an anal suppository?
No,
like
that's what I'm saying.
Like
Yeah, like a
um,
suppository that
like a
smells like
diarrhea one,
roses.
like to unconstipate you, but the opposite.
Yeah, they have, I mean, they have all kinds of suppositories, but they don't, to my knowledge, have one that makes your fart smells like roses. All right. Why am I giving my $1 billion inventions out to everybody? Damn it.
If you become a billionaire because of our podcast, we will sue you
Be our Patreon.
and be our Patreon and give us $1.
$1.
Okay, that's all it takes. Okay, so let's go. Let's move on. Here we go. There's silence now. Soaking that in.
The sound.
According to World
Silence.
Population Review, it's creepy.
You know what the name of that band is?
Well, my mind goes to the remakes of it, so I don't think I know the original.
Disturbed, like the name of our podcast.
Okay, but Disturbed was not the original singer of that song. Just
Who was?
because I heard didn't Marilyn Manson also do that?
I don't know.
I'm looking it up now because that's gonna bother me. I'm not a huge fan of the band Disturbed. They do a couple good songs, a couple good remakes. It's a Simon and Garfunkel song.
Oh, see. Hello, darkness, smiling sun.
That song? The
Uh,
sound of silence. Yeah, like how do you not know that that's not
because I don't really listen to
Disturbed?
Disturbed, and I don't super love Simon and Garfunkel.
I mean, yeah, they're a bit oldie, but
Well, you know what? Simon and Garfunkel said they really liked the Disturbed version.
well, I mean, yeah.
Did you ever see the Dancing with the Stars with Nal DeMarco, where he
I don't
danced to the
watch
sound of
Dancing with the
silence?
Stars, no.
You don't know who, do you know who Nal DeMarco is?
No,
Oh.
I don't. I watched Dancing with the Stars with my grandma.
He's a gay deaf icon.
Oh, yeah, no, I just have not
Oh.
been involved
It was
in
like
anything
probably
current.
7 years ago.
This is a parallel
It's not
universe thing.
current. It was like 7 years ago.
7 years ago, I might have watched it with my grandma.
Well, his Sound of Silence dance, because he's deaf, that was why he wanted to do that
Mhm.
song. It's very cool.
I'm sure that would be really cool. And really hard to do. Like honestly, with you say I no, sorry, just dancing, not just dancing, but dancing. For some
Dancing.
reason, my brain went to ice skate, like ice.
No, this is
Skating.
we're not talking about ice dancing.
I watched Blades of Glory yesterday.
Oh, that's one of my favorite movies.
This is why my brain went there.
What does it even mean? Nobody knows what it means, but it's provocative.
Oh, okay.
I'm always channeling my Chaz Michaels, just BT dubs between
I
us.
love the middle and the last name that go together. There are 20,000. Sorry. Okay. Here we go.
Oh my
It's
God.
estimated.
I love that movie so much. Thank you for putting it in my
You're
head.
welcome. It is great.
You know, I homeschooled my kids, so I love the part when he's like, "Hey, homeschooled."
Oh, I like that. Yeah, not that, especially the beginning when it's like, "Hey, I heard they're talking about the women's awards. You don't have to hang around anymore." Okay. His hairstyle, the gold.
No, the whole thing.
It's the whole movie.
The whole thing
The
is
whole movie.
amazing.
Did you watch the other Will Ferrell one where he does the singing competition? What is that one called?
Yes. The answer to any Will Ferrell question is yes.
I really like that one. I don't think it became as popular, but I really enjoyed it. It had a lot more of the subtle,
Are you talking about old
stupid
school?
humor. Is it old school?
Old school is when they're trying to save their frat house and they
No,
have
no,
to
no, no,
compete.
no, 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 no.
And
That's
Will Ferrell
not.
does the amazing ribbon dance that is just like an epic moment in my cultural history.
Okay. Yeah, but not what I'm thinking of.
Okay.
I'm thinking of the one where he's in there with the chick that was in the Notebook.
We're back.
And they do the competition and they like sing together.
Oh yeah,
It's like a
it
newer
was
dish.
on the
Sorry.
God, what's the name of that show?
Did you go potty?
Eurovision. Eurovision,
Eurovision.
which is a real thing.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah. No, that was a
Right?
good movie.
Yeah, that was okay. Sorry,
You see Eurovision,
we
Sarah?
tangented. Will
I
Ferrell.
don't remember.
Never mind.
Tell me about it a little
Do you know
bit.
this? Oh wait, no.
I don't feel like I can anymore.
I think we're.
Is that where they were?
We
Was
moved
it
on.
singing?
Yeah, they were in the Eurovision Song Contest.
Yes,
And
that
she
was
believed in fairies and he
hilarious.
didn't.
Anything with
Yeah.
Will Ferrell, like
Exactly. That's
Ridiculous.
what I said.
it's ridiculous, but so funny.
Except I don't know about his serious movies.
Which
But
one
there
does he do
is like
serious?
real Eurovision.
He has a lot of serious movies.
Does he?
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah.
I've seen
Oh,
it
there was
yet.
that one called
Something with fiction in it.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, no, there's some that are like a little dark. You're kind of like I can't. Okay, sorry, this is a whole tangent, but here's
He ate snow.
here's some Eurovision here. Really?
There was a lot of real Eurovision performers in that movie, which was cool.
Oh, were they? I didn't know
Yeah.
they were real. That's cool.
Yeah.
I just saw like 2 seconds of that clip from Raven Veronica from Slovenia, and I feel like I have to go back and watch it because the music video was already starting to look cool.
How did
Okay.
we get onto this?
Oh, who knows?
Situation.
Who knows?
Who knows? What?
Who really
Who
knows?
really cares?
And who really cares?
So according to World Population Review, welcome back.
Thank you.
Serial
Did
killings
the dog
account.
poop?
Just
Pete.
E.
Oh, so it's still in there.
I think he might have just wanted to be.
He's still baking
It's in there
brownies.
until it's not. Yeah.
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 He ate some snow.
It accounts for less than 1% of total homicides, putting your total risk at less than 1 in 20,000 to be serial murdered, and those numbers keep declining over time. So, yeah, there's your comma, but I still don't like being murdered any other way.
No.
It's not my favorite.
And I've been almost murdered a couple times.
A couple
Really?
times.
Yeah.
It's a
couple
couple.
times?
Subliminal.
So
You
it's
Freudian slip.
like more real, like the possibilities of impending doom are more real to me, I think.
Okay. Sometimes so I live between two trains, which impacts my time to get anywhere in my life ever, because then I'm like, I'm gonna go this way.
I don't
and then
think
the
tunnel
train will
that
fall.
shit already.
They're trying to build I say trying because
Oh,
it's
you
been
wanna
talked
see
about
Mama?
forever, an over ramp thing.
Mm.
Just hasn't happened.
Under or over. It's got to be one way or the other, right?
I mean, or where is the boring project, right?
Oh my God, what happened with that? And where's my flamethrower?
And my freaking hoverboard.
Where are they?
Okay, so again, this isn't as much. He probably doesn't like that I'm talking. He
Doesn't like what?
So counseling sessions, he sits on my lap and he falls asleep.
Oh, okay, let's go loud. Okay, like this.
Oh yeah, no, he likes it. I have to keep my feet kicked up like this, and then he lays long ways on my lap.
Oh, okay, let's try that.
Yeah. Because he looks at my lap longingly. It's fine. So that then brings us to the point that, okay, it's not like a threat here and now problem that people need to be keeping in their minds. But
speak for yourself.
So these are predators, like our minds are pretty sophisticated in the fact that it does register that it's not a here and now threat. So it's not a reaction of like, oh, I need to watch this to stay safe. Because sometimes like maybe there's a breaking news, like somebody escaped from somewhere and they're now loose in your neighborhood and
then
you're
you wanna
watching
know.
that.
No, I don't think that's my forefront thought.
Right,
Like I have to watch this documentary
No.
to stay safe.
Right,
It's more the morbid fascination.
right. So
Of how can someone's brain be this?
Yes, I'm always
disturbed?
trying to like figure out like, okay, you're born an innocent babe. How do you get
Yeah.
from A to Z?
Right. What happened? We want to know
I
what
want to
happened.
understand that process.
can you
How
say the
can
word
you-
innocent babe again? 2 words,
Innocent
actually.
babe.
Yeah, I don't like it. So that is kind of that what takes it then from being casual to, because people will watch endlessly. How much gore is too much gore?
Oh, I've been there many times when I'm like, this is too much.
I had a friend who had to watch horror shows or scary shows to go to sleep at night.
Wow.
And
Because there's a container for anxiety.
yes,
Yeah.
that's what we like decided.
Yeah.
That is what it was.
No, I
We were
get
like,
that.
what?
But
Yeah.
I definitely get to a point sometimes where I'm like, this is impacting me in a negative
wanna hold
way.
it?
It's too much. I have to stop.
You see Mama's lap and you want to go there, huh?
Right,
That's the
prepare.
comfy spot.
All right, lay down.
Oh God.
How much does he weigh now?
He
Oh yeah.
18 pounds.
He's like,
How
Stay.
is he twice what he was last
he's
time?
about to Geronimo.
Like 2 weeks ago?
14, 15. No, I mean not twice, but he's pretty
He
big.
looks twice.
Hey, but you're not gonna eat my shoes. That's the
How
That's
big
what
was
you
he
got
when he was
going for.
born? Like this big?
How big was he born? Like a baby.
Like how long was he?
Smaller, I said.
Like that big?
Stay safe.
So that is like exponential growth. That's crazy.
You can.
I'm fine with him not being asleep. He's cute, rascally.
Hey.
Mm-hmm.
You made me lose my page, and I'm upset about it.
It's almost like little piggy sounds.
And
Yeah.
he grunts a lot, especially as he goes to sleep. But he gets very like doughy when he starts getting sleepy. Oh, okay. Can I help you? Can I help you? You want down there?
I want to play,
Go
Mama.
for it. Woo. He's gonna come back around to you, or he's gonna poop. If he poops, I'll pick it up real fast.
He's like, what? I mean, we spent some time, good quality time out there, and I don't think he was.
He likes to poop behind
Inside?
the bushes, so he
Oh.
likes a little privacy.
I tried walking him around by like
I'm just
The
not
trees and the
trust
grass and
anything.
bushes.
Okay, so are you just curious? Yeah, hold on. Okay. Hey, nope, nope, we don't wires. We don't wires. We do not wires. Come here, come here. Okay, so. Wow. Well, some people said that it had to do with a sense of justice and feeling that this.
You're not.
Sometimes people say it's about justice and feeling like the system is broken and like murderers wind up not paying for consequences. This is one of the ones that I had a harder time, like, because I've never once heard anybody tell me that they watch it because of I'm on the ground and he's on the lap. Great. That it's because of like somebody not getting justice.
Are we talking about just fictionalized stuff like this Dahmer thing, or are we talking
No,
about like
Just
documentaries?
fascination, you know?
Because I think the fictionalized stuff, part of the draw is it is fictionalized and they purposely produce it to be interesting and engaging.
Right. Where everything's targeted.
Where it's like a show, a
Right.
story.
But so what do you feel though about that? Like it's because the justice system isn't like it's like kind of watching it happen because you're wanting to see some like
Like, do they get
closure
their
of a
due?
kind. Right. Yeah.
I don't feel like that one really
Hey,
resonates with me super strongly.
Hey,
There you go.
hey, Satan.
You found a spot.
Okay.
Oh,
So I don't think so. What about you, Sarah?
what's the question?
Right, that's what I thought.
I'm
Okay.
so distracted.
So when we talk about serial killers, like we've talked about a lot, just in this podcast, there's the power and control piece comes up a lot. And so for me, I was just curious to what we thought about how that may like parallel process and impact people because that power and control we then get by watching it without having to be involved and we get to see.
Oh, like we're identifying with the killer?
Yeah. Because
No, I definitely don't resonate with that.
But I think that there's a lot of people like if we talked about like the shadow psyche stuff and like that ego side of ourselves that likes to be expressed, even if it's not like our values, it's there because it is stigmatized.
I mean, I can see it as a theory, but it doesn't resonate at all for me personally.
Well, you get scared. Legit scared.
Yeah, but I have a real dark side. I don't need like a vehicle for it like that.
You can't say that when you're the one with the coffin in the house, so just saying. No, like you are have the real dark side.
Yeah, like I don't need to like play at it, I guess, is what I'm saying.
So, but many do. Like people trying to like conform into that like societal expectation of good and they're not here's a show that shows that like dark side that they don't get to explore mentally or play out.
Maybe they find some freedom in that.
Right. So like I could see some of that, but hey, you're a bit over the top right now. I don't know. He does not whine this much. He grunts a lot, but he does not whine this much.
Sarah's handling it. It's fine.
Is she?
Yeah. She loves
You
it.
start covering him with things.
She loves it. It's fine.
I feel like he's fighting sleep.
Yeah.
I feel like he like is trying to get a little like relaxed, and then he's like, no, I want to get up and play.
But we're just not allowing it. But see how he doesn't fight the blanket? I just put my hand over your face.
Kids do that. Like when they start getting tired, they'll get like rest. Like, no.
So, what are your thoughts about like people and loneliness in watching these shows? Because we've had that topic about being lonely, and like we talked about oh gosh, what's it called? The men who are very anti women
Incels?
incels and like kind of like aligning with this idea that there's that like society has wronged them.
Well, I can see people like that identifying with the killers. But that's like, I don't know if it's necessarily its own category.
I think that there's people who identify with it, but it's so again just stigmatized to think that. Like there's people who say like I'd, kill my wife. She makes me angry, or
It's
I
kind of like in a joking sense, but there's a part of it that's maybe
like obviously
like,
that thought's been there, but
it'd
it's a
be
very
cool if it really
surface
could.
level.
Yeah, people can think all kinds of horrible things.
Right. And it doesn't make it real, it doesn't make it true.
But how does that play on
It's
loneliness?
one's actions that defined us.
So you're
So
saying like people that are prone to loneliness would find
well, like people,
interest?
yeah, because there's now something that they can feel emotionally attached to, because like you said, it's made to be engaging. It's made to feel you connected to something that's pretty, hey, oh my gosh.
I mean,
It's
that could be
fine.
dangerous in that sense.
Mike's probably not even thinking it up, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah,
It's louder than me. Are you kidding me?
it's fine.
Did you what? What?
You just
What?
want to look around?
What?
Okay, just look around.
It's
Fine.
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 Okay, so um reflecting anxiety. So serial killer media fits into a larger trend in horror content, like we've talked about. So in 1982, The Poltergeist, remember we talked a little bit about
That
that?
maybe
Great
really
movie.
scared me. That
Is
was one of the scariest,
yeah,
in my opinion. Like,
yeah.
well, watching it as I was
It was good.
younger. Yeah.
So it's been really that kind of staple for a very long time of what changing, it talks about like changing family dynamics and suburban America, divorced women entering the workforce, supernatural attack, like it's this I like all of these concepts of change and deviating from society, and then
It really started the
murder.
trope of the bad stuff that will come from building on an Indian burial ground.
With
Was
Pet
the main
Cemetery, I
problem.
mean, that instantly came to my mind just
Mhm.
now. That was horrifying for me. Like the
That was a
semi
scary one
truck
too.
on the road.
That was a very scary movie.
I've lived next to so many places that are like that, which is really
I could only
scary.
read that book during the daylight.
Yeah, I have a few of those. So that anxiety reflecting horror media fits the serial killer thing too, where the brutal crimes like Wayne Gacy can be seen, and it releases people's anxieties
Mhm.
to see something it's like riding the roller coaster without,
Mhm.
it is the roller coaster, I guess.
Mhm.
So it is
In a
potentially anxiety
controlled
reducing.
environment.
Right. So you get that high surge, that little relief
think
because
that's
nothing
a
bad
major
happens. But for
thing.
you, you're really talking about the possible side.
He's almost asleep.
He'll chew on it.
He's literally almost asleep.
He does fall asleep with his head back, like his neck is broken. It's weird. It's no, he can chew on it. It's fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he'll just
Poop it out later.
it's fine. So yeah, but you're saying that like you're part of the chunk that does get anxious from it and has to stop watching, right?
Oh, if I overdo
Typically.
it, sometimes I like
Mm-hmm.
saturate myself
Mm-hmm.
where my abilities to like cope with it or like have it be like entertaining are overwhelmed. Like I overdo it.
Right.
Like an example of this is when they had that horrible shooting in Las Vegas. Do you remember that where the guy was up
Yeah,
in
that fairly recent.
My
hotel
friend was
room?
at that concert.
Yeah. Like I watched every fucking
I watched
thing I
a
could watch
video
on
of a
that.
taxi
Into the
cab
night.
driver like hearing the shots and then going and picking people
Yeah, I
up.
watched everything I
and-
could. I watched that too.
Yeah.
I watched everything, and there's a point when I recognized I need to stop watching
I
it.
didn't even tell you. I completely forgot because it's been too long. I was in my backyard and it was fairly like 11 o'clock at night. Like I was right by the door. Cody was out in the garage, and right in the street behind us, I hear two gunshots, like no mistake, gunshot, like
Oh my
and
gosh.
and I'm sitting there like, oh my gosh, and I'm like, get inside, like because it was sounded so close, and then I hear like the car or no, sorry, there was a pause, and then so then three more right after, and I hear the car like vroom off.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, what the crap? And then
Yeah.
and so we go inside, and then we see the car come around our block. So they were there, and they had to come around because there's a dead end there. and they zoom off. Okay, so then I'm sitting there and I'm like actually kind of shaky because it was so
Yeah.
close sounding. And honestly, I had no idea where like bullets would be or anything. And then it was like, well, should you call the police? And I had a bystander effect moment of, well, I'm sure someone on that street has
Oh, yeah.
called. I called and reported it, and I asked, like, they had a dispatch call me back, and I said, has anybody else called? No. And that was like
Yeah.
10 minutes after.
Oh
So
my
nobody
gosh.
called this in at all.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, and I know I wasn't the only one that heard it because he had heard it too.
Mhm.
But and then nothing. I saw nothing on the news about it, nothing at all.
That happens a lot,
Mhm.
where the stuff thing isn't on the news.
Right. And I'm
We
confused.
had in my neighborhood, just in the last 2 weeks, I'm sleeping and I wake up and I could see like all these lights, you know, and
Mhm.
at first I'm like, is a UFO landing? Is this finally it? And so I'm like, what's going on?
It's happening.
It's and then I'm like realizing what I'm seeing
That
out
was very
my
high pitch and a lot of hands.
my
up.
curtains
Yeah.
is a reflection of something that's happening in the front of my house. So I go creeping out and I look and I'm like, oh shit, there's like 100 cops on my block. And so I'm like looking, I'm trying to figure out what's going
There's
on.
police in my neighborhood.
No, this is like 100 cops. Yeah, I mean they're always on my block too. I live in Brownsville.
I was gonna say, yeah, you're not
So,
new to
and I'm
that.
like, what's going on? And I'm like, Asher, can you see what's going on? Because his room's on the second floor. And he's like, I don't know. And then he comes down in a minute and he goes like, he's like, I can see the SWAT is right next to our house hiding in the alley. And I'm like, oh shit. And so we're all like watching. So SWAT was hiding literally next to my house in the alley, and then they come out, and there was something on the next block. There was never anything in the news about that, so I have no idea.
No idea what was
There's so much stuff that happens all the time that's never on the news.
It's like
Hi,
beautiful
Craig.
hands. Okay. Yes. So anyways, that was my just side tangent.
What was
that-
your theory that was going on? Do you have a theory of what was
for
happening?
their spots?
With the
Spotting.
SWAT?
I mean, it's usually like drug
Drugs.
dealers or whatnot,
Yeah.
but I don't know what house it was.
So
I'm like, is this someone I know, not know?
So, and that part of the anxiety piece may also be that just like, so like with Wayne Gacy, who was, I think, a topic of mine.
I watched
He-
that one, which is also was awful.
I don't
Obviously.
think I've watched all of the Wayne Gacy, but I did my research on Wayne Gacy. So the idea that they live like humans do, right? Like it next to us, you know, like they could be anybody.
Yeah.
That idea of like
They
self-protection.
look friendly.
Right. So you want to kind of protect yourself too in the idea of like, maybe I don't know. It's like the unknowns
Mhm.
as well. And that deflection of fear. So typically people still will say that they don't admire the serial killer.
Mhm.
Like so in the surveys and stuff, which is interesting because they'll watch so much of it, but they won't admire them.
Mhm. But there are people who say that they straight out do admire them. Like they've had like girls reach out to them in prison and say how much they're into them, and just
Right.
people that really will like actually admire them.
Well, and that was a different like kind of side stuff that I didn't take because I've done a like a fan or not fan, but like a prison letter writing
Oh yeah.
thing before.
Mhm.
But yeah, there's definitely that route of obsession with versus like the interest in true crime people or obsession with true crime.
Mhm.
So so there is kind of that somewhat difference that's talked about. So that idea of guarding ourselves or making ourselves, oh my goodness, protected somehow might be part of it.
Again.
Come here.
He's
come
going
on.
for it.
Come on.
Making moves.
Hi, sweetie. Hello. Hello. Okay. So a lot of things that came up while I was looking at this was, is it a red flag if someone is fascinated? Like, is that like is it a bad sign if you know someone who has that fascination?
Mhm.
It smells like dog farts in here.
I don't even smell them anymore, if that's
You're
not a good
immune.
thing. Oh my gosh.
Woo!
You
He's
excite
so
him a lot.
restless.
She needs to
Oh.
hold him. I think this is what it's about.
All right, your turn.
You're the
Your turn.
Untapped
tapped.
resource.
Yes.
Okay.
Wow, that was a lot.
Get this chunker.
Great. This is wonderful for me. Oh, see, I told you. I was like, he knows there's someone that has not had his love.
Yeah.
Okay, so the last thing that I'll just share, I guess, is this idea of some media scholars came up with this concept of wound culture, where there's a lot of focus on the serial killer as a person and trying to understand their psychological background. And the terrorist attacks on 9/11, for example, have been identified by scholars as that start of an increase. They have related that at least to a correlation of an increase in serial killer related content interests. And the focus on understanding serial killers as a person may come at a time when people are trying to make sense out of what seems like random or violent attacks. So I thought that was kind of interesting too. The storyline center around a serial killer, the audience's fascination is less about the monster. So what you missed is that a lot of these surveys say that people don't admire the serial killer, even though they spend a lot of time watching them, which is interesting. I mean, interesting, but makes sense. They say that it's often a way to deflect those fears as well of things like domestic terrorism, things that are more real for us, but that we have no actual ability to impact directly. So like sense of control in our lives. So they do have to balance that glorification part, like Netflix had to do with the Bundy, but yeah, that blurring, like what is the point and purpose of a lot of these is what many people end
To
up
make
coming
money.
to. Obviously.
Because they know people are gonna
And it
watch them.
and they all did kind of come around that same time, and the ones that I recall, other than like Dateline type stories, came after 9/11. So I found that kind of interesting because I had not really put that together.
Yeah, I mean, that was real life horror on display,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
See why we don't want to go for the face? No. Well, that's really where it kind of laid out was that no, you don't have to necessarily be worried about that person that's fascinated with it. It may actually be more of a self-protection thing.
Well, true crime stuff is so insanely popular.
And it's interesting.
And I'm not worried that all those people are like little budding serial killers themselves at all.
I mean, some maybe, but to me,
some are like trying to learn tips and tricks.
I'm not completely not sold on that. Like it's a way for that, shadow self to get some expression, which to me, if that gets some healthy expression out in that way instead of doing something really weird.
Probably like very few people.
It's so much, it's just more fascinating.
Are you peeing on me?
Is it happening?
Oh my God.
He had to pee.
He peed outside.
Wait, I don't see pee.
Well, why do I feel wetness on my crotchal area? It's not me.
I don't see pee though. I really don't.
Okay, maybe it's just
Are you
the
sure
heat
you
of
did
his
just
crotch.
pee?
Did you pee yourself?
I mean, maybe I peed. Sorry, I blamed you.
No, there's legit no urine on that poor dog. He just got
Maybe it was like the hot wind of his fart that warmed my legs.
I don't smell the fart either. I'm pretty attuned, but I mentally block it out. He wants the shoes. I think that's what it is.
Well, it's not.
Here, what do you think about this?
No,
I'm not gonna give it to him. I'm just gonna tell
Not the demon, he'll be cursed.
his mother is Satan, so I'm curious. What do you think? You like
He
him?
wants to chew the demon up. We can't have that.
No,
He
like
like-
he
he
doesn't
licked
even want
it.
the demon.
Yeah, I didn't care. He says I like that foot a little bit. Just the foot. Yeah, it's fine. I feel like he had no hand. Now that I think about it, I'm gonna look back though. All right, that's it. So, you may not be as messed up as you think you are for liking the weird stuff like we do. And maybe if you have weird, like, I don't know, 1890s nails fall from the sky during your podcast, you shouldn't be the one sitting with your back to the portal.
You shouldn't.
Never sit with your back to the portal. Come on.
Until
Don't
next
blame a
time.
puppy for.
Wait, we're doing until next time.
Yeah.
Until next
I
time.
thought we were. That was
I
put
just
that
didn't
way.
say it. Go ahead. Until next time. Go ahead.
Don't blame a puppy for peeing on you when maybe you peed on yourself.
Feed yourself. Yeah.
Or keep the puppy so you can blame the puppy. Maybe that's like the better way to
That's
go.
valid. Did you take my sweater?
I have all the things.
If you didn't listen to our last episode, we talked about how reality isn't real. And if you'd like to financially support our podcast, which would be amazing.
It's only $1,
On
and
Patreon.
it financially supports me to have the better tasting thing than the not tasting thing.
On Patreon, it's only $1, and you get access to lots of cool exclusives, like the video of
Welcome.
this.
Of this.
Pictures.
I often call him. He's very top heavy. I have dropped him. Hey, we don't need plants.